Here's what I heard from some pretty big time boosters that are older and that I don't fall in line with, but they still control some purse strings. They don't think NIL should ever be a thing. So the packaging it as a talent fee has actually, in some cases, I think, worked against Danny White with some big time boosters that they have disposable income, they have marketing income, and they make those decisions. Caleb, now I obviously believe in NIL because we paid Jacob Warren, we pay Cooper Mays, and we love the fact that players are getting paid. So this is not a personal issue. My issue is pull up the tweets if you don't mind, because I got several messages on Facebook that they weren't happy and about any sort of ticket raise, didn't matter whatsoever. And then Danny White comes out and tweets some of these things, and it befuddles me why he would kind of toy with Tennessee's fan base. Is he the Lane Kiffin of athletic directors, Caleb? Because I've seen several times where it does feel like he is trying to troll Tennessee's fan base, or maybe just get them a little bit excited. So we'll get to Caleb and his thoughts on that as we remind you, we're brought to you in part by Varner Ford.
Convertible, $24,550. 2023 Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend, $29,789. 2022 Ford Escape SEL all-wheel drive, $26,975. Varner Ford, built for the game.
Okay, so this post on my Facebook page, and we'll get Caleb back in here, but I want to get to your comments. This post on my Facebook page, Danny White continues to ask for more money, is the general tone of it. And I don't believe that Tennessee is going to add a third deck, but he teased that on Twitter. If you haven't seen that, when we get Caleb back, we'll get that up there. But Danny White has teased a third deck, which seems incredibly absurd to me. So my question to you on the message board, and that is, do you like the fact that Danny White is brash? Or are you more along the lines of Danny White needs to just continue to do his job, raise funds behind the scene? Is it too brash to have the Neyland Entertainment Complex, or as I like to call it, the neck? Maybe it is. Maybe to some people that's too much. And we got Caleb back now.
Sorry, guys, trying to pull up the tweet and
cut yourself off. Adam says the timing of the ticket prices look like a desperate move to me, like we aren't going to do well enough to ask after the season. I thought that too. I don't think that's the case because I'm really high on this team, but I thought that too. It was a letter sent to. Now, I will say this in his defense. It was a letter sent to a lot of season ticket holders who are planning their marketing expenses for next year, and you do that in fourth quarter. So I kind of get that. But let's pull up the tweet and tell me if this is playful or if this is just kind of teasing Tennessee's fan base.
So the tweet basically says, zooming in a little bit, it says, Danny White will pay a 25% increase on season ticket prices. If you had a third deck, 120K plus would be a dream come true. And Danny White responds, quote, on it. Which, again, maybe a little rubbing the wrong way. I kind of got from the start that he was referring to, I don't know what you felt, Dave, but I got from the start that he was referring to the stadium third deck, but many people got the vibe that he was talking about raising ticket prices. And you can give me your thoughts on that.
Well, okay. Poll question. Would you like to see a third deck on Neyland Stadium? Can we all agree that that's absurd? Or is that really, I'm being dead serious, because if you'd have told me about they're going to have the battery essentially that they have around the Braves Stadium next to Neyland Stadium, if you'd have told me that a year ago, I would have said that sounds kind of absurd. But I think it's going to work out. You and I differ a little bit on the layout, but I think it will be a win as long as Josh Heupel is around. I think Josh Heupel is going to be around a long time because Danny White pays his people well.
Well, let's share. This is what Danny White said before I get the poll question up in response to people talking about the ticket prices. Do we have this tweet up? Yes, we do. Danny White was asked, although, Danny, I think we can reach this goal without a 25% increase. You could fill out 150,000 if you could build it. It's time we take back the capacity record. Danny White said, quote, should have been more specific. My apologies. I was responding to the idea of increasing capacity, not the 25% increase. We are exploring all options to add capacity to Neyland Stadium for the most passionate fan base in the country. Not sure if it's feasible at this point, but we'll leave no stone unturned in pursuit of solutions. In the meantime, all interested should get on the wait list. That's the best way for us to measure demand.
I hate that line. I love his brashness. I love a lot about what Danny White does, but I don't like that line.
Which one? Which line do you not like?
The last line. Get in line to spend more money.
He's saying if you guys want to go spend money, get on the wait list.
A joke. Stop selling to brokers. Now, I don't. Can you give me some more background on it? I haven't bought tickets in forever, so I'm not really sure what exactly that means. But and get us the heck off Ticketmaster. Maybe that
guys that you can't get off Ticketmaster. Like, I don't know if y'all know the story. This is it's a blatant antitrust violation. I don't know how it held up in court for 10 years, but it's finally breaking up. A Ticketmaster and Live Nation merged in 2010 that basically allowed them to set the prices and the venues for every single event held across the country. That's why tickets are so expensive that even artists don't want to charge what they charge for tickets, but they do it because Ticketmaster sets the venue price. And it is a clear antitrust violation. Ticketmaster is an evil company. I'll say that straight up, but there's nothing you can do about it because everything has to go through them now. They have cornered the market and they've monopolized it. So Tennessee, I totally disagree. I don't mind, Dave. I think Danny White's having fun with fans. I don't think he increased season ticket prices but again, it's a certain class that owns season tickets. Let's call it what it is. He didn't increase prices on students beyond what market rate usually calls for anyway, or average people getting single game tickets. He increased season ticket prices, which are expensive as heck to begin with. If you're trying to raise money somewhere, do it there. I'm not about to lose sleep if when you're trying to raise money, you're targeting the 1% of the 1%. Sorry, I'm not going to lose sleep over that.
Well, I will. I mean, I think there are some people that are upper middle class that are in that area. I don't think you're necessarily talking about people that are worth 7 digits. But you think that's the case?
I think it's been the case in college football for a while that you're probably worth 7 digits. One, because it's not just buying the season tickets.
To donate.
You got to donate. You got to donate a lot to get on that list. So if you got to buy the season tickets and you got to be a major donor to the university. Who that's not in the 7-figure or at least high sixes isn't doing that?
Yeah, it's expensive. It's pricey. Will Tennessee build a triple deck on Neyland Stadium? That's going to be our new poll question. I'm putting that down right there. Really, I'm posting it now, Caleb. It's not as ambitious. I don't know about structurally, but it's not as any more or less ambitious than the Neyland Entertainment Complex. So while I think it sounds absurd, I don't completely rule it out.
Okay, so the reason I think I'm ruling it out is because of Danny White's last tweet when he said the feasibility is in question. That's basically, he wouldn't say that unless he knew it wasn't possible. Look, guys, they've been having to take out seats for about 10, 15 years now because there were safety issues, major ones. Do you remember, Dave? I guess it would have been in the early 2000s. If you were filing out of Neyland Stadium, you were like in human to human line, like bumper to bumper traffic, and just slowly walking out, right?
Yes.
And the problem with that is if there's a fire, if there's a tornado, if there was anything, you were stuck in that stadium. And they had to make a lot of adjustments for that. You had a third deck. That problem still exists unless you give everybody a parachute under their desk and they can fly out of it. And so, I mean, that's really the big problem. Also, have y'all ever been hungover and sat in the upper deck in the sun at a Tennessee game? I guess that would be the south end zone.
Fair.
Do you know what that's like? And do you know what it would be like if you added a third deck for those people?
Well, it would cover the people underneath.
Yes, exactly. But the ones at the top would be even worse. I'm sorry. It would be a disaster. It would be an utter disaster. You can't do it. You can't do it, guys. I'm sorry.
We'll check the poll question on that. Hemp House, the premier hemp dispensary online with a wide variety, great selection, strict standards to ensure you only receive the best in CBD or Delta products. Hemp House Chat with 2Ts.com. Hemp House Chat with 2Ts.com. Use the promo code HOOK for 10% off. HOOK for 10% off. Poll question. Will Tennessee build a triple deck on Neyland Stadium? No doubt. 3%. Probably not. 72%. Heck yeah. 24%. So that means almost 100%, 97% of our thousands and thousands of viewers / listeners think that this is a realistic possibility.
It's not, guys. I'm sorry. It's not a realistic possibility. It's just not. I mean, it's cool. I would love to see it too. It's not happening. There's going to have to be new technology that allows for it. My wife was an architecture major. I'll ask her if that's feasible.
Well, I can remember having a fire marshal tell me that there was an entire side of Neyland Stadium underneath the press box that was decayed, and he was a fire marshal, and that they needed to fix it pretty quickly or is going to come down. I don't know if that was true. This guy could have been insano, but I will tell you a couple of loud times I got a little bit scared. I'm not gonna lie to you. And we worked on the story.
It gets a little shaky there, doesn't it?
Yeah, we worked on the story. I don't think it's even structurally possible.
I don't either. But, we have to be realistic with people sometimes, Dave, and they don't like that.
Okay, this day in Tennessee sports history. I'm not saying, okay, new poll question. What would you rather see? The Neyland Entertainment Complex. Let's assume both are possible. Adam says it's always feasible. More steel. By the way, if you want to super chat, it all goes to Quincy Calhoun, Caleb's son, college fund. And I keep it away from Caleb because he has a gambling problem.
I don't have a gambling problem, although Quincy's college fund may like my first 3 weeks of betting, he's lost a lot of money.
Oh yeah, Quincy's going to
looks like Quincy's going to have to go to trade school, guys.
Community college near you.